Good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you are. Welcome to Sickness in the Blood, Operation Dead Candle. And we begin our scene with our two PCs emerging from a room where a creature, an entity, has just devoured the mages that were occupying this room. Mages that were promised by someone to be safe or to be looked after until their violation as their essence, their very souls, their beings was devoured, taken from them by a creature emerging from the blood network, a cybernetic vampire, it would seem. And we zoom into our two characters who are basically running from this scene as they're running towards the sort of center room, the central area in the green room. And we'll zoom in on these characters. Take it away.
Running along behind this guy who clutches into something, apparently stumbles, and we all just sort of take a moment to collect ourselves, and he'll keep running, but Victoria will sort of look back and go, oh, okay, it's done now, and shrug, hands in pockets, and keep walking, just following Mr. Cola wherever he may go.
Akola is running after he's just seen these, like, talks to the mages and just seen them get mashed. He's now running away from whatever that thing was, and also, again, just trying to complete the mission as boys from home are coming along, and they're not going to be very happy with him if he hasn't actually got anything to show them. So he's basically trying to get to the Blue Wing where he can get his colleague Victoria to try and, like, fiddle with the computers or help him actually download the information before they destroy the place. But as he's running, he'll just look back and say, what the fuck was that?
Necessary.
Oh, well, will that thing come after us now, or is it fed on those people back there?
I don't know.
Well, he seems to be quite chummy with it, as he says, as he's still running through the corridors.
Victoria's just sort of slowed down to a jog, then a walk, and just sort of looks back again and goes, it's incomplete, but it's beautiful. And then just head down again. No. Nope.
Well, I think we've got different definitions of beauty, my friend. But anyway, come on, let's go. If we don't get this information soon, the company will come and they will kill us. Fucking whatever that was or not.
Just looks up at you and then looks back down and just... She gives you that look and you get the distinct feeling of you're not worth talking to.
Ah, okay. There's more important things like drippy vampire monsters, very. So
but
she gives him that look.
It's intended as a look of I could say something, but you won't understand. But you're probably just going to get the whole. I'm not going to talk to you. She'll just sort of go, and she'll just sort of nod and go, and just start looking at her hands again, but still walking on.
Mirazan will just, like, mutter something to himself and then he's think, right, enough talking to Victoria. We need to get this shit done. So then he'll continue running to where he wants to go to, casually, like, looking back every now and again to see, check if Victoria's following behind him.
She's got nowhere else to go, so she follows.
Okay, as the players continue forward, you are met. The area is a lot colder now, vastly colder. The environmental systems or whatever it is that kept this place warm is gone now, and you see breaches in the actual walls as if something has torn into them or ripped them apart. The ceilings collapse slightly, and you see snow is kind of leaking into the building. It's quite ethereal. It's quite beautiful. You see these snowflakes come by, go down, and throughout the facility, but you feel the cold. It's starting to get to you now. Your fingers are starting to get a bit numb. The wind is howling through the complex itself. And as you continue forward, you see more of those creatures, the worm entities, but they seem to scurry or flee as you get near them or past them. And you do see a few corpses. You see some sort of bodies. And they do seem to be the bodies of these creatures. It's as if they have starting to disintegrate, or they're starting to evaporate almost, as if their time here seems to be only a brief moment. It's as if their life cycle is speeding up and it's starting to degrade, and there's fewer and fewer creatures, and you see more of these bodies that seem to be just evaporating in front of you. Worms seem to be just disappearing into the air, as it were. Whatever it is, its life process is starting to die down.
Victoria just sort of looks at one of them and goes, clever, 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 clever. And just keeps muttering that under her breath.
Oh, well, at least it doesn't mean I get to waste ammo on them. But anyway, I suppose you think that's beautiful as well, don't you, Victoria?
Everyone has a different perception of beauty, she says, mirroring your words from not 10 minutes ago.
And as she says that, Mirazan will just look around and he'll remember when sights like this used to make him feel ill or sick. But through his time at the company, he's seen so much horrible stuff that it's just immune to him now. He doesn't find it horrific, he doesn't find it beautiful, he just finds it's just there.
As you continue forward with these thoughts of the horrific scenes, the complex itself, though yes, it's become quiet and still and somewhat empty almost, you can't help but hearing this kind of this pumping sound, this kind of this sound. It's a sort of as if you're inside a womb. You feel this kind of this slight warmth, even though despite the very cold atmosphere, this slight warmth, this heartbeat seems to be just pumping through the facility. And at one point, it kind of comes deafening, as if your ears kind of ring or starts being pierced. And as you look to the walls, you start seeing images. You start to sort of see like teeth and people, as if they're bound to the walls. These images start to get more and more sort of focused, more and more real as the further you go down along the corridor. But as quickly as they sort of come, they start to change, and then they start to disappear. And it's as if you're going through something, a sort of tunnel experience.
Is the heartbeat erratic, or is it a steady heartbeat?
Oh, it's a very steady sort of thump. And each time you hear this thump, you see the kind of red circuitry, almost, sort of like veins or blood vessels, just circuitry, as if it's pumping through the facility, as if it's even guiding you towards something. But as you will be snapped out of this, as you hear a loud sound.
What sound do we hear?
You hear gunfire. You hear loud explosion. You hear men screaming and crying out.
When Mirazan hears this, he almost feels relieved to hear something that's, even though it's fighting, it's something that's a little bit more normal for him.
Yeah.
So he'll just go into the stance. Listen. Yeah. Okay. Let's. And again, while he's being distracted a little bit by the mouths and all the faces on the walls, it's like, let's go where the people are. Where the people are is probably where we need to go. Come on.
Victoria's just looking at the mouths, and she's about to. She's got her eyes half closed, and you've noticed this behavior from her. She's about to reach out and try and read something, but then you'll just sort of grab her and go, "Come on!" And she's like, "Ah, okay." "Don't dive into the mountain again, woman. It nearly killed you the first time," he says under his breath. And we go towards the gunfire. I presume.
Okay, as you kind of you rush towards the central kind of entrance, the main sort of entrance to Greenwood, which is this vast, massive little sort of complex. This in a bit, and as you kind of you're in a bit on a higher level, so you're looking down like 3 or 4 floors into the main entrance to Greenwood. And what you see before you is a group of what seems to be like 10 to 20 individuals seem to be in a firefight with some other individuals. They are different. The 10 to 20 people you see seem to have sort of gas masks, camouflage. Lewis, you'd recognise instantly. They've got good mercenaries. They seem to be using heavy weapons, and 1 or 2 of them seem to be armed with flamethrowers. Even you see fire belching from their weapons. The other group seem to be in robes. They seem to have only small arms or pistols, even a crossbow. Vastly outnumbered, outgunned by the other individuals, but they're fighting quite well. And they seem somewhat suicidal. You see one of them actually jumping at individuals, even though they're ablaze on fire. They seem to be jumping at them, and as if something is protecting them. You see bullets and charging into the gunfire, and it's as if the bullets just seem to ignore them or just reflect off them. And they seem to be jumping onto the mercenary group, and we see them savagely beating them, sort of cutting them. It takes 2 men or 3 men just to take one of them down. But after a while, this firefight sort of quiets. It goes silent as the other group seem to retreat. And you're just left with the scene of these mercenaries seem to be just gathered in the middle of the room, compiling themselves, reforming.
Is there any way, do they look like they're from Chiron Group, or can I tell?
I think you don't need to roll. I think you can tell the gear, and because you've operated with this kind of groups before, you know who they are. And yes, they seem to be from Chiron. They seem to be a former group that you're quite used to, the Charlie Group, which is the basic mercenary group sent in, the suicide squad, the Canaries, as it were.
Oh, I won't call them that to their face.
Well, that's what many in the company call them. You're above that now. You're higher qualified. More qualified.
If they're a Charlie Group, I forget, because he hasn't got promoted. What kind of level is he?
You're on beta, so they're Charlie. You're beta, so you're 1 level above. And alpha is the super top.
Yeah. Cool.
You're a level higher than them, so you have more rank and authority, depending on the situation.
Okay. So are we looking down at them from on?
Yeah, you're looking down at them. You're looking down at them.
What Musin would do, he'll grab Victoria and just and take them, so they're hiding behind some kind of cover, so he can shout out, so they can hear him, but they can't see him down.
I've hit the deck an age ago.
Oh, okay. Well, he'll hit the deck near you, and then he'll just shout out, so like Chiron Group Beta Agent, like Beta Agent Akola.
As you say this, as you say this, the group, all the guns, they go into a standard formation. All the guns point outwards. They circle themselves. They get protective in a defensive formation. And they seem to, and one of them just simply shouts out, "Repeat." And as you repeat what you're saying,
Chiron Group Agent Akola.
And then one of them shouts out and just goes, "Oh, Mr. Akola, come on out." And it's a familiar.
Do you recognize the voice?
Yes, it's a very familiar voice. It's a big, heavy, rough sort of voice, and yes, you definitely recognize it. And it's a voice of someone you used to serve with.
Okay, so Akola will carefully, in a defensive stance, look over the edge of the overhang and look down at the group of mercenaries and just look at them looking at him, hopefully.
As you look, all their guns point to you, and they look back at you, and one of them sort of steps forward, and he seems to be the leader. Again, they don't seem to have any identifying marks or anything like that on them. But he looks to you and just goes, "Come on down. We'll speak to you. It's good to see you."
Identify yourself first.
Oh, come on. You know who I am? It's me, Big Red. And you know that name instantly. It's the name of someone you used to serve with in Churion before you got promoted. And he's a crazy fucker. He's a proper, like, addicted to enhancement. Will kill anyone or anything to get enhancements. And he's a massive blood drinker. He's a Vitae addicted individual that Churion use. And he's very big into vampires and kindred and devouring them, basically. And they call him Big Red. And
not somebody you want to run into at 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, no, he's someone you wouldn't trust him. You wouldn't do anything with him. The last mission you was on, it was just you and him that walked away. That's the mission where someone was turned inside out from a lightning bolt, sort of thing. And you've seen him take all kinds of hits and manage to walk it off. So you're the two survivors, as it were. And he's in charge of the team which used to be yours, which is designated Dead Meat.
Okay.
So he gestures for you to come down.
I'm with another agent. Don't fire.
Confirmed. Come on.
And I look down to Victoria on the floor. Come on, get up there with us.
Victoria doesn't believe a word of it, but she has orders. So just dead-eyed, she gets up and sort of goes, just shrugs and nods and goes, just follows you. You might have to explain why half of her face is melted off, though.
Yeah, I think it's kind of
sharing group.
Sharing group. Okay, whatever. We've seen it all done.
Yeah, but as so Murizen will find the quickest way down to them, and we'll just still very cautiously go up to them because if he knows they still could fire on them. Victoria, so yeah, and what is their reaction to Victoria's visage?
He seems busy. He seems to be talking to the other members in the group. His back is turned to you. Of course, there's one or two individuals on point. They seem to be quite observing, making sure no one's surprising them. People on point seem to just let you through. And as you walk in, you get closer to the scene, and it does seem like he's already lost 3 men who have been killed by these kind of robed individuals who seem to have taken. And actually, you looked at the robed individuals; they look like they've been gunned mercilessly. You see all holes and blood emerging from their bodies, but it seems that they've last-ditch battle. They've really hit the team hard, as it were. And as you get closer, and as the group observe you, you get 1 or 2 reactions. It's hard to tell because they're wearing the gas masks and they're wearing sort of coveralls. But they seem to be reacting weirdly to Victoria. Because again, Victoria's walking in there with the sort of open flesh, mechanical parts, and even they're not sure. And you do see them. 1 of the 2 of the group seem to be pointing their flamethrowers at Victoria, just to make sure it's safe.
Quick question, ST. These guys are heavily augmented.
It's hard to tell because they're wearing heavy armor and heavy stuff. But you see 1 of the individuals, and he seems to have like an animal claw.
Does it make my static go off?
You feel odd. This team is very odd. Yes,
Okay.
There are augments or something here. As I say, you look at the team. You see through one of the gas masks, and you see the eyes are glowing bright underneath the gas mask, as if something's. This whole group have been augmented.
That's cool. Without a role, I don't need to know more, but just feeling a bit. I don't like them either.
As you walk closer, you will see that one individual is sort of pointing a gun at someone's head, and it seems to be an individual that's bound and gagged and has a cloth or bag over their head. And they seem to be pinned to the floor, and they're being kicked a little bit. They seem to murmur, scream slightly. But the individual, this big red, he's got this big black gas mask, and he will approach Mr. Okola in a kind of friendly gesture, and actually he will open his arms out for a hug.
How close were they? Were they drinking by the?
Oh, you hated each other, but it was a kind of respectful relationship. You hated each other, but you had respect for each other.
So frenemies, I suppose.
Frenemies, okay. Yeah.
As he's leading a squad of augmented killers, Murizen's gonna be nice. So he'll hold his rifle in his right hand and just let this go and go. No, see, and he'll go up to him and he'll respond to the hug.
Oh, okay. As you hug, he's quite surprised because you don't always usually kick him in the face or punch him instead. But he hugs you. Coca-Cola, how you been? It's been a while, boy. I didn't think they sent you on this goddamn operation.
Is that your nickname, Coca-Cola?
Yeah, that's what he calls you. Diet Coca-Cola. How you been?
Hey, I'm full fat Coca-Cola now. I'm a beta agent. Thank you very much.
I heard about this grand promotion. Why the hell they promoted you, not me? I don't know. There is a hint of like anger in his voice, but he goes, I didn't expect you on the blacklisted operation like this one.
Well, we do what we do, and we get paid for what we do. Who's that you guys have got there? I mean,
that's an individual we bumped into. We think he's got access to the Blue Wing. Claims to be one of Chirion's agents. I got no confirmation, so I've been ordered to come in here and wipe everything clean. Maybe you can identify the dead meat.
Sorry, you broke up a little bit there.
He goes, yeah, we've just been ordered to come in and clean it, basically, which is a term just to destroy everything. We have no identity. I've been told that you may be involved in this operation, but I have no idea who this dirtbag is.
So why? So you just haven't executed him because you think he might be one of us, or?
He has the look for it, but like I said, I don't have any confirmation of an individual like him on the operation. Maybe you have
another agent.
John, give him a good kicking, reveal his face. And the other guy gives him a bit of a kick and a shove and sort of brings him towards you and drags the individual by his arm to you. And as he lifts off the mask or the hood that the individual is wearing, and it's revealed as the agent that you, Mr. Elixir. And he seems to have a few bruises as he's been beaten slightly. and Ben, take it away as the mask is revealed and you see these two individuals before you. You have met them before.
Yeah, he ran past us and left us a little present, I remember.
Quick question: is he gagged or was he just like bagged?
You're bagged. Yeah, you've just been bagged.
Okay. So after coughing up a bit of blood from the kicking, he will just. Again, you said that he recognizes Mr. Okola?
Yeah, you gave him the information. You passed the information to him. USB or disk or something. So you know who Mr. Okola is and Victoria.
So he'll just sort of wheeze out. I left my papers in the car. How many times do I have to tell you this? As he's just irate at these thugs for just beating the shit out of him.
Okola will go, what? And he'll give him a little pistol whip tap. What? And he's sort of with his gun.
Good to see you too. What?
So I didn't hear the first time. What did you say?
Oh, he said, "Good to see you too."
No, he's basically pissing with you. He's basically saying like, "What did you say? Say that again." After he's hit you on the head with his gun.
Yeah, it's going right over his head. He's just you can tell by the look in his eyes right now that whatever like mission he got sent on, the whole thing with the worms and the melting plastic vampire thing, this is way above his normal pay grade, and it definitely shows.
When Elixir doesn't want to play, Yurizan will just step back and look to Big Red and go, "He's with us. He's given us information before as part of this mission. He's not attached to me completely, but he was here doing his own thing and he aided myself for Victoria."
You sure?
And then he'll look down. I'm sure. And then he'll look down at Elixir and say, "Are you sure you have your keys?" Untie him, let him go.
Okay, boys, you heard the boss. They untie him and kind of get him up slightly. They're very rough. They're not kind or pleasant.
And then they say, "Sorry about the little game. I've got a bad sense of humor."
Oh, is Lewis frozen?
I think he might be frozen.
Well, that's a hell of a pose he's put there. Okay, well, we'll simply...
well, at this point, Mr. Acola and Elixir will sort of...
Oh, no, hold on. You back?
Oh, are you back?
Hello? I'm here. Where's out from?
You're just about to speak to Elixir about what's happening.
Like I said, like he goes to says like, "Sorry about the game. Look, I've got bad sense of humor." And then he'll just hold out his hand and say, "Pleasure to finally speak to you face to face."
He will look absolutely indignant, but he will take the hand and he will actually properly stand now before saying, "This was entirely unnecessary. And furthermore, what the hell do they send you guys to do here? This place is going to hell."
I'm not asking you what you were sent here to do, so I'm not going to tell you. Anyway, but thank you for...
I did my job. I got you the information.
Well, thank you very much for that. And I'm glad you're alive. Now you can help us complete the mission.
Fine. Just, when's the evac going to be here? Literal worms were coming out of the walls and dragging the other scientists away not more than 15 minutes ago.
This is quite a high-profile mission for Charon Group, so some strange things are going to happen. I mean, just look at my colleague here, and he'll point to Victoria, and you'll see this frizzy-haired, half-robot woman standing next to him, or in the little group of soldiers.
She was actually about to see about sneaking off, so she's probably closer to a doorway than you remember.
Oh, she's sneaking off.
well, that certainly will take him aback for a minute, as he hasn't seen an agent or specimen. He will just sort of look at her and then look back to you and go, "Is she one of ours or company property?"
She's one of ours, and we're all company property, my friend.
Again, he just complete indignation at this point.
And how far has Victoria kind of sidled away?
I'd probably say a couple. She's sort of wandering around the room, hands in the pockets, like you would walk through a gallery. She probably doesn't even realize she's close to a door, but if she got to a door, she would have gone through it. She's just sort of wandering around, going, "Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting." Just looking at the walls, looking at patterns, looking at shadows, listening. It actually looks like she's listening intently for something.
If you do kind of walk away, the guys with the flamethrowers will kind of follow you or stick by you. No, that's just standard. They will do that because they're not sure what the fuck you are.
No, that's okay. I'm not threatening. I'm not making any. I'm literally just walking around, looking at the things because this is interesting. This place, I just in my own land, la la land. All this is just tra la 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 la. This isn't real, and I'm not even here, but it's interesting.
Actually, they will. Actually, the flamethrower guys will start to burn the bodies. I forgot about that. They will start to burn the bodies of the individuals they just fought with. And actually, you'll see them just burning other things around the area, like the worm bodies and corpses. And, actually, even in the central, because the main part of the Green Wing, there's a kind of underground growth, like garden, trees in the middle. And they will start shooting downwards with the flamethrowers, and start burning trees and all the green growth.
Cats!
They just do this out. They're not even thinking about it. They just simply they're doing this. That's standard practice. And you will see some trees and plants being burned in the background. But we'll zoom in on what happens in a moment. We'll go back to Mr. Cola and Elixir, Agent Elixir, just to finish their conversation.
By the way, can I just like clarify some things here? Okay, we're in the Green Wing.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to get to the Blue Wing.
Yep.
And in the Blue Wing, there's the White Room, isn't there?
It's access to the White Room, yes.
Yeah. Okay. But you can get access to the Blue Wing via the Green Wing there was like a tunnel via.
No, that's to the Red Wing. The only way to get to. Oh no, there is actually no. I'm lying. There is a way to get to Blue Wing via the tunnel, Blood Network tunnel, underground. But you may be able to get into it because there's an individual in front of you who has access. Hands up, Ben. Hands up. So I'll just do that.
Also, when they bust out the flamethrowers and start burning things, you'll notice an even more unusual reaction where Elixir will almost instinctively sort of jump back even more so and get a relative distance away from the fire.
Oh yeah, I mean, sorry, to describe your character, Ben, you are quite pale looking. Odd looking,
yes.
Basically.
Like very pale, almost sickly looking, but he is breathing. He again has the lab coat of one of the staff members for Heaven's Rest with a fake name tag and everything. Would be completely indistinguishable from one of the other scientists, albeit one that hasn't gotten any sun recently. Hair is a bit oily, rather sort of dirty blonde. And there is almost an animalistic look in his eye for just a second at the sight of the fire before he sort of shakes his head and everything's normal. But the observant will know that his hand will sort of pat down a part of his lab coat, and then, as almost though he was reassured of something, will immediately begin to relax a little bit more.
As Mirazan sees Elixir looking a little bit worried, and then he just sees the flamethrower guys starting to flame, like the little green complex with that leads into the tunnels. He'll go over to Big Red. Hey, could you tell your guys to stop flaming the forest? There's some survival equipment down there that could be useful for me and my two companions.
Too late for that. It's already ablaze. Look, you got your orders, I got mine. I've got to purge and dissipate this whole place. Got explosives set up on Red Wing already. We're going to set them up here in the Green, and eventually we'll blow up the Blue. Orders are orders. Carry on, boys. Burn them. burn them all. Just the boys start going, booyah, as they just start. The flamethrower even spreads even more now, and it's really set ablaze a part of the green wing just for laughs. They set fire to a banner right in the corner. They're really enjoying themselves. They're enjoying the carnage.
Yeah.
Like
even Elixir is angry at this just blatant destruction. Like, he may have no love for this place, but like not even he can find any like satisfaction in this level of brutality.
Mirazan will go over to Elixir. Look, I thought maybe perhaps I could get some assistance from Big Red and these guys, but they're just off doing what they're going to do. Look, this is what we need to do. Sorry for not bringing you in earlier on. We need to get information from this place before destroying it, and it seems we've got to do it pretty quickly before this team here ends up toasting the entire facility.
All right, where do you know
Myself.
the intel on where this information is located?
Myself and Victoria need your help to get into the Blue Ring, and apparently there is a place in the Blue Ring of the White Room, and this.
Look, is this what's the priority of this mission? Because I just escaped from the Blue Room, and let me tell you, you don't want to go there, especially now.
Well, let me put it like this. If we don't get the information, there could be an apocalypse-level agent coming to kill us.
Oh, God damn it.
What are you more scared of?
Okay, all right. Then I need to fill you in on exactly what's going on in the Blue Room. And it might be a decent idea to get one of those knuckle draggers to lend you their flamethrower. It might be the difference between life and death. That is, if it hasn't adapted already.
Look, wait. And at that, Mirazan will look around and say, like, Victoria, is she still wandering around watching flames?
We'll zoom in. We'll zoom into Victoria.
Victoria has stopped wandering. She's now standing back rigid, almost like at attention, her hands clenched at her back, death staring at the cunts of the flamethrowers, pardon my language. And she's muttering something under her breath, but she's not moving and she's not blinking. And I think you could probably see like sparks going up her hair again.
As she's there, like looking more and more psychotic and weird, Mirazan will like again shout out, "Victoria, come over here. We need to speak to our colleague."
Literally, all you get is her just standing like this, and she'll just sort of go.
Do you feel like you need to roll something?
I feel like I need to roll something.
Okay, we'll I guess a kind of roll.
Actually, before I roll anything, she'll just sort of look at Agent Coca-Cola, as I'm now only going to refer to him as. I'm so sorry, and just sort of look at him, but then flick her eyes back at the dudes with the flamethrowers and just ask, "Are they necessary?"
So you're asking the guys with the flamethrowers?
No, I'm asking those character about them if they're necessary.
Yeah, he's asking Pepsi Max.
Pepsi Max.
And you can see the sparks just starting to build around it like an unearthly halo already. And she's just pretty much just asking, "Do we need to keep them?"
How many guys are there?
It's about it seemed there were 20, but now they're 15. And actually, you already see the dead squad mates being harvested by the others. They're actually cutting off limbs and or cutting off pieces of them and putting them into their backpacks. So they're already harvesting them. You know, you've served in these sort of groups, and they're brutal. They're savage. It's all about the money. It's all about the enhancements. It's very little pity or love in these groups.
Akola will look around at the Charlie group, and he'll look at Victoria and he'll think, even though she seems to be quite augmented at the moment, 15 of these guys, it probably wouldn't turn out well. and we probably do, after Elixir's advice, we probably do need them. So he'll look at Victoria and just say, necessary for the time being.
You see her jaw clench, and you actually see the muscles in her jaw work as well, and sort of grate and spark a tiny bit. And now I need to make an integrity roll because I'm not going to go nuclear on them.
Because if this is quite visual, you're having this kind of visual effect. One of them will come up to you because it's just because you look like quite the prize of all your kind of organs. So we'll do an integrity roll. We'll do a simple integrity roll, and then we'll.
Oh God! Remind me.
We'll role play well. So I think it's a wits result.
Everybody's on 3, aren't they? Integrity-wise, you said earlier on.
Oh, it's on 3 now, but you're going to go down to 2. We'll simply say that if you fail this, you'll do something very bad. I'll let you role play it.
Okay. I know exactly the bad thing I'm going to do.
So, if Lewis, if you've got some dice or someone's got dice,
I got some. If you need some.
Okay.
Yeah, roll me. What was it?
I think it's wits and resolve.
Right, how much?
6 dice.
All right.
We're looking for 8s and above.
If I roll the dice, I can actually film them being rolled, so you can see that I'm not cheating.
I must admit, I'd like to see them.
In that case, I will not reveal the 6 that I have rolled.
Yeah, fair enough. If you could roll the dice.
Come
So
on,
6
Ben,
dice,
don't you want to see me kill the world?
I'll tell you after the game session.
There we go.
Right, what we got?
We got a 1, a 5, a 1, a 7.
Oh, 2 successes and 1 explodes. So you can roll again. They're exceptional. Do count. Oh, it's 3 successes. So you hold it together. But we'll roll it. We'll role play this. Actually, one of the guys will approach you, Victoria, and it won't be the guy with the flamethrower. It'll be someone else that seems to be past you and follow you out of it. And he will actually look to you and just go, "Hey, hey, darling, what's you got some shiny augments there. What are those from? Are they new?"
Newer than you can ever imagine.
Oh, I bet.
She's just walked past him.
Oh, as you do, he kind of like he's actually trying to flirt a bit, but then as you walk off, he kind of goes, what? No need for that. It's all flesh underneath this mask, and he kind of shouts out at you. He kind of gestures.
Oh God. Okay. You know what? I've had it with these guys. Victoria's actually going to grab a piece of flesh off her cheek and peel it back and go, "No flesh under here," and pat it back down.
Yeah, even the guy in the mask, so you hear him cough a bit, like, as if like, yeah, that's pretty sick. And he turns away and goes, and you see him sort of mumbling or talking to the other guy. There's a dare or something. So he's trying to prove himself.
And she'll just freaking turn and go, "That was stupid, that 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 was so stupid, that was stupid, that was fucking stupid, that was so stupid, that was so stupid, that was stupid."
If you give me, if someone, I think Lewis, you're the one that would roll this because you're most aware of the group. If you could give me a socialize and wits roll, just to gauge something, no minuses, or just simply say how many dice you roll.
So 4 dice.
Yeah, 4 dice.
Do I need to take anything away?
No penalty. Just the only successes you get.
I get. You'll see. I get 2.
Sorry, do you get any 8s or? I can't see. Sorry, what did you get? All right, 4. Is that a 9? Oh no, 1. Oh, an 8. Yeah, you got success. Yeah, Lewis, you can gauge that as the way they're talking to each other and the way they're all looking at Victoria. You know how these groups operate. You know how savage they can be. Oh yeah, they're eyeing her up. They're eyeing her up to be harvested. They you know how
she's probably worth a lot of money. They could go on holiday with her.
Yeah, they're looking her up. So you already get in their mindset that they're going to make it look like an accident, or they're going to do something and harvest her for parts because they know quite a lot of money for her. So you're aware of this. You're aware.
As he sees that happening, he'll motion to Big Red. Red.
Hey,
she may be, look, I know she'd be worth a lot to your men, but I need it back.
Oh, right, because you're paying my bills, are you now?
Well,
you don't have anything to trade or offer me for that? You must have collected some samples while you've been here. Something, anything? Something for tasting?
Yeah, but if I don't complete this mission, we're all going to die.
Oh, Coca-Cola, what's wrong?
And Victoria's been killed by a Charlie group. I'll make sure you'll never reach beta level.
Oh, he's angry at that. He's angry at that. He kind of tilts his head slightly. You don't need to give me any ills. Actually, give me an intimidate roll. I think give me a I guess a persuasion. No, manipulate. Oh, whatever it is. Persuasion and intimidate. Trying to persuade him.
Okay, so
minus yeah, persuasion, intimidate, but -3. This guy's not easy.
I've got intimidation because I've got intimidation one, persuasion one. Would it be?
Then it's the chance dice. This guy's not easily intimidated. You can roll chance dice, but it can go quickly.
I got 3.
Nah. He just looks to you and just goes, "Look, there's no need to bring out the bad face on you, man. Look, accidents happen. If she falls down the wrong way or gets eaten by a bug, it's my duty to, harvest."
And then he'll go up to Red and he'll get hugged close, and he just go up to where his ear would be beneath the gas mask and say, "Mr. Quiet is here, and he's backing us."
Oh, as you say that, he kind of looks around suddenly around the area and just goes, "Oh, well. Oh, you have got some big friends now, haven't you, since you've been promoted? Didn't know Mr. Quiet was here. I apologize. Didn't mean no offense, just doing my job."
Look,
it's all about
all I want to do. Listen, all I want to do is what you want to do. I want to complete this mission, take what I can back to the company, and just chill out with my money. That's all. Let's do what we do, and then you can do what you do.
Okie doke. Look, my priority of my mission is to destroy the Red Wing, destroy the Green Wing, and destroy the Blue Wing. Purge all the enemies. You do what you do.
Well, look,
we'll back you up. But
myself and my two colleagues are now going to go to the Blue Wing. If that's the last on your list, once we've completed our mission, we'll help you destroy the Blue Wing, and we can all get the samples and go home.
Okay. But I'm telling you now, I want access to all the samples. I want them all. No sharing.
Fine. The damn samples.
Go. I've got an agreement that we'll harvest all the samples and we'll leave your lovely friends here.
Fine. Deal. Now, let's earn those coins. And he'll...
All right. Before we get our horses all in a jumble here, look, we've been having... the job was meant to be easy. Just some puny scientists and some security staff, but we've been bumping into these religious fanatics. I don't know, they keep calling out about some brotherhood or another. We interrogated one earlier. He just had a fucking smile on his face. He ripped his balls off. Something about the brotherhood and something about stopping the harvest festival. Some rubbish or nonsense. Anyway, these fucks have been called in. I think they managed to get into the Blue Wing somehow. We had a bit of resistance here and a bit of resistance at the escalator outside. But I don't know how many more of these fanatics, but I tell you now, they are tough motherfuckers. They fight, easily kill with. One of them kills like 3 of our dudes easily.
Bear me a second.
Okay. Okay. As they're discussing this, Perhaps Mr. Elixir and Victoria do up into place.
Victoria's in a corner of the room by herself, hands in pockets, hoodie up, just muttering, "That was so stupid," to herself over and over again until she starts looking for the closest doorway to her and the furthest dude with a flamethrower, which might explode and cause a scene, and then weighing up whether it's worth it.
Funnily enough, also similarly muttering right now, just had to bring in the toy. What's happened to the company? It was never about salting the earth. It was about discovery. It was about categorizing. It was about this. God, this is a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. Why am I even doing this?
Would you say that I overhear this?
Would you say that I overhear you?
That, yeah, I'd say so. I'd
Fair.
say we were. Yeah, let's metagame ourselves together so that we've got conversation. Yeah. But so, as you say, it was never about salting the earth and going on about what you say. Just you'll hear her just go from, "That was so stupid. That was so stupid. That was so stupid." The earth needs to get quiet before I can sing again.
That is interesting. As non-creepily but failing as much as possible, Elixir will just sort of slide over to where Victoria is, though. It's nothing you can learn. You have to be born with it. And he'll just sort of look at you and say, "What did you say?"
Nothing. I'm not here.
Like, no. You said something very specific there.
What do you think I said?
Something similar to something someone else said very recently.
And she'll just look up, look shocked, and actually look genuinely confused and goes, "Nobody should know the First Testament but us." And then just get scared again.
He's bewildered at that, as he has no idea. He's just repeating something that he overheard. I'll speak to David more about that a little later on. And I think this will be the best time for Mr. Akola to sort of come back, as his two associates are now almost look like there was a cusp of some sort of conversation, or maybe it was just all in Agent Elixir's head.
Well, if it looks like they're about to have a conversation, Akola is going to be extremely surprised how chatty Victoria is at the best of times. So we have over these two colleagues. But he'll turn around to Big Red and he'll say, "Hey, Red, could I need to go back into the Blue Wing? Elixir here says it's a bit tough. Could we borrow one of your flamethrower guys to give us a hand? And then if you want the samples, you can get the samples for you."
Okay. Look. Well, we're going to blow up the Red Wing. We'll set the charges to the Green Wing. When we get into the Blue Wing, we'll detonate those. But we'll go into this Blue Wing. I know it's the science wing. I know it's where all the freaky, fucked up shit is. And that's where the best samples are. And like I said, if we get access to all the samples, we'll help you out. But I'm telling you, my mission priority is to burn this place down. And if you're in it, that's just your fault.
Well, are you going to lend me one of you guys or not?
We'll come with you. Just hold your horses. We've got to set up the charges for this ring. And we'll head on out to the Blue Wing and we'll back you up. Just give it a moment. And actually, as because the other two are talking to people, he does kind of tilt his head like above your shoulder. You sure those two can be trusted? They are, quite freaky deaky even by our standards.
They can be trusted. They're with the company and they're a higher security clearance than you.
Goddamn boss is more monstrous than we are. Okay, boys, burn it down. And then they start to, again, the flamethrowers to set fire to more things. And you see one guy seems to be like the crazy explosives guy. It's quite hunched over. And he seems to be giggling to himself as he kind of starts planting these like explosive detonators around the main pillars on the green wing. And they seem it's a proper, yeehaw outfit. Very American, very hillbilly, almost some of them. And they start setting the charges. But something will happen to Ben in a moment, unless you want to continue.
Victoria was going to reconsider saying more words. Do we
Go
have time
it.
for that?
Yeah, go for it.
She doesn't say many.
We look forward to Victoria speaking.
Use your words, Victoria. But she'll go from just being side on to Agent Elixir to actually just taking a step until she's almost face to face, nose to nose, just sort of looking over her shoulder and just sort of whisper, "You've heard the words before. Where did you hear them? Here? Are they here?"
As he will nod and say, "I've seen a lot of strange things while I infiltrated the Blue Room. But that was something I overheard between the chief scientist and the one who was in charge of the Blue Room. I didn't fully hear what they were saying. I thought that it was pertaining to the source of the Blue Room's power, the generator, the network."
She just blink and twitch. It almost looks like she's shorting out in places, just with effort, and we'll just sort of again. But can you hear it? And she'll actually put her hands against your cheeks and just look at you, and you can see like the circuitry in her eyes going, "Can you hear it though? Can you hear it?"
As soon as you touch him, he'll immediately flinch and sort of back away and hit your hands out of the way. It's almost instinctual. And you'll see almost like again, a quick flash in his eyes, like almost just pure instinct when that happened before. He just goes, don't do that. And I'm just repeating what I heard. It's like
I'm sorry.
Do you know anything about what is happening in the Blue Room?
Maybe, but I'm too broken to say yes or no.
He'll just nod once. It's more than what he's gotten out of most stuff. And there are still many things in the Blue Room that he doesn't understand himself. But he knows what the network is now. And he knows that it is almost certain death unless these two are as skilled as, well, Charon says they are.
She'll just sort of look at her hands from where she reached out to and she'll go, I'm sorry, I forgot I'm broken. I'm sorry, I forgot I'm broken. And then just wander off and actually just stand facing a wall with her head in her hands and just not doing anything. Probably even puts her forehead against a wall and just doesn't move.
There's a twinge of sympathy and a whole lot of curiosity. And then he'll just shake his head and return his attention back to the dealings going on between Mr. Akola and Big Red.
As you sort of turn your head to look at these two talking, suddenly, Ben, you will feel your skin start to twitch. You feel your augmented skin start to twitch and move, and you definitely sense something nearby.
Oh no, and he'll voice that aloud as he will just say, shit. Everyone, make ready. She's coming. I can feel it. As he'll just panically just start looking around. Am I allowed to make a perception check, sort of just going on the raw instinct of what his augmentations are sort of telling him?
You could determine where it's coming from.
The sort of muscle memories of the beast itself, plucked from the dead that provided the augmentations.
That would be it's a wits and I don't have a sheet in front of me actually.
Right.
It's a wits and let's say survival. I think. Does that make sense? I think wits and survival. I don't have a sheet.
Alas, he's not trained in survival, but he does have 2 wits, and he is freaking out enough about this that he is going to spend willpower for heroic effort with your permission.
That's fine. Oh, that makes it 5 dice. I'm not going to do any penalties. So it can
But
be...
he does not have the skill for survival.
Yes, sorry,
That means
good
that he
point.
gets penalized.
Yes.
I think it's 1 dice,
Yes, minus 1 dice because it's not an academic.
so it'll be 4.
4 dice, yep. So roll 4
4
dice. Oh, Lewis, I think is rolling for you.
8, 2, 9, 10.
Oh, wow. Okay, the 10 explodes.
So you got 3 successes.
All right.
Yeah, you can, Ben, your skin starts to twitch. It starts to sort of spasm almost. And actually, it's coming from your sort of right side. And as you kind of look up, your face starts to twitch, and it's in the sort of upper right side of the green wing. At least a couple of levels up, you'd think, and it's definitely watching you. It's watching you. You can tell that's when it happens. Is when they're observing.
As he'll just panic and go, there, fire, do your job, kill it.
The mercenary group just look at you comically as if like, well, what the fuck is he saying or what's he on about? They're not convinced by you, and they just.
Agent Max is going to actually listen to what Elixir says, and is going to point his rifle to where Elixir is pointing, and just see what's there.
You do spot something, something's head or something looking down at you, a person, bald individual. It's quite far up, it's hard to see. But it's definitely something.
Red, there's something there, he's not talking shit.
Red looks to you, but then looks to the area and then just goes, open it up, boys! And then you just, all like the heavy machine gun fire, the M60, everything's being fired in that area. And the whole balcony sort of place just starts to collapse and starts to fall down. And then Red just starts to sort of signal to the group like, roll up, we're out. And they start to move.
Victoria, get your head away from that damn wall and come with us.
Victoria gets up from the ball that she's curled into, their hands over her ears, and just dazedly follows you.
Okay. The mercenary group start to sort of formation fall back and start to move towards the blue line, which leads to the blue wing, and they start to kind of walk in that direction.
Elixir, you've been in the blue wing before. You're going to be able to guide now. So, look, tell us where to go and tell us what to do, and we'll follow your orders, and we'll basically survive, and we'll get to the White Room.
He's going to look really pensive at that, but he realizes that what you're saying is true. But you can even see like a little bit of guilt come over him as he'll just nod and say, all right, the situation may be worse than what it originally was. I think that was the head researcher for the Blue Ring.
That was?
Yes. Again, I barely was able to escape, and that was after a betrayal. I'm not sure. It's a long story, but look. The Blue Ring, the head researcher isn't just a researcher. She's a corpse. She's one of them. She's a vampire, and a powerful one. Like,
okay,
potent.
Vampire's not my speciality, but I do know about them.
Like,
as soon as you say that, Big Red will overhear this conversation, and just his ears always pick up on the word of vampire. And go, what? We got a bloodsucker on the premises?
Not exactly anymore. I think I'm not sure. It's all fucked up. Just here, as he'll actually take Akola aside, and he will try to relay the information that he got, a little bit more detail about what's going on in the Blue Room, and he will explain that the Blue Room like, the main reason the researchers were there was to study how the blue wing was powered, and that it was powered almost solely by itself. Like, the idea of whatever generator they had in there, it connected to all of the blue room, was able to be completely self-sustaining.
As you're explaining this, Akala will motion for Victoria to come, and just even if she stands there mumbling to herself, listen, because she's the one that's actually got a little bit more insight in this than him. So carry on.
Well,
So yeah,
I say that it gets stranger. It's like they were right to send me because I was able to figure out what exactly it was that they were powering the blue wing with. They were powering it with Vitae. The entire blue wing is entirely running off of vampiric Vitae. It's like I haven't been able to see the generator, but I saw the schematics for it. It's on a completely different level of what I've ever seen. I didn't even think it was possible. They've somehow found a way to blur the line between organic and machinery to the point where they can use it for just about anything. But I was caught not too long after I was able to send the report to you, and I was almost enslaved. However, the thing with Vitae is that it turns logic against itself. It uses everything animalistic in order to cloud the mind. It's why it makes you yearn, it makes you think you love, it makes you want, it taps into the lizard brain inside of everyone. But you can use that to your advantage, and I was able to convince the head researcher of the complex, a Dr. Garner, to down a certain line of thinking. And sure enough, when things started to go crazy, he threw the head researcher of the Blue Ring into the reactor itself. And whatever hold she had over me was gone. And that's as soon as I just ran as fast as I could away from there before I was knocked out by the canaries.
Whoa. So you're saying that the head researcher was thrown into the machine, but she's now walking around?
I'm not sure what happened. I thought she was destroyed, but then my sensors have been reactivating. It's these, as he'll just sort of gesture to his skin, and you'll see that there's these very odd tattoos that almost look like glyphs, but again, Akola is probably not familiar with alchemical symbols, but the skin itself is not just pale, it is like a Churion vampiric skin graft. It's one of the more common ones, but it looks like the work that he had done on himself is very extensive. As you'll say, it's reacting to vampires' presences, and it has been going off and on ever since I ran away from the Blue Ring. It's possible that she was not destroyed, but transformed with whatever thing they're doing to the Vitae that's allowing it to interface with the machinery of the Blue Wing. And now she's able to just interface with anything, like the building, the floor. It's basically walking into the Blue Wing now would be like going into her own body.
She's beginning to tune.
To tune?
Victoria just says that and then just walks to the blue room. Just walks. That's it. Conversation done. She's going.
No, don't stop. Oh, what?
Wait for the Charlie group, Victoria.
As you're all kind of, she's moving forward and you're gesturing for her to stop. Of course, there's like two guys behind you, and loads of guys in front of you escorting you through the facility towards the Blue Wing. And as soon as you kind of gesture and Blue kind of walks off towards the door, suddenly you just hear a loud from behind you as you see one of the soldiers just staring at you from behind you. And as he's standing there, he suddenly just starts to stumble slightly and he literally divides into two. He's split down the middle. And as he splits down the middle, he slides into two different piles, two different corpses. And at that point, you see this creature behind it. And this time it has fully formed arms, it's fully formed legs. The plastic's more solid, and you actually start to see eyes and features on it. And it's just crying out as the blood splatters everywhere. And you see it just devouring it, licking the walls and the floors. And it just looks towards you going, more, more, more. And we're going to do a test to see whether this thing can chase after you as you all run towards the...
Okay, when that happens, Coda's just going to say, like, there's a screamer like, retreat to the blue rings, like, fucking move. And
yeah, like at this point, it would be amazing if, Elixir's just gone. He'll like shoot ahead, just
what a
gone.
great pair of one that wanders off aimlessly, chatting to herself, and another one that just like runs away at the first sign of trouble.
So we just simply do a athletics test. So this will be a, I guess, wits and athletics, because it's about you being going very quick, and we'll just see who's got the lowest counts. Yeah, I think.
Are we just going to do everybody, or is it going to be like a group?
Everybody, yeah. Sorry, if everybody could roll me a wits and athletics test, and it's basically whoever gets the lowest. So whoever gets the lowest as well.
I'll roll me first then. So I've got wits 3, athletics 2, so that's 5 dice.
Okay, roll away.
And I get 1 success. So you get 6, 6, 5, 6, 9.
Okay, so 1 success for Lewis. If we can do blue.
Cool.
3 dice, please.
3 dice for blue.
She gets a 4 and a 9.
Oh, so that's 1 success for blue. But you do have the lowest dice pool, so say the draw blue.
4 dice for me.
4 dice for Ben. See.
And again, 1 success. You've got 5, 5, 8, 3.
1 success, right. I'm gonna have to make it random.
I can see Charlie forming it into the blue wing, and we're like being slow coaches running behind.
Right, I'm gonna roll 3 dice. Hold on. Just make it random. Number of dice rolls 1.
Feel free to just make it me because I got the lowest dice pool.
Okay, we'll make it blue because she has got the lowest dice. So yes, as you're running, as you're fleeing, you see one of the group starts to shoot the M60, the heavy machine gun. He stays in position and he's just pummeling bullets into this thing, and it's not even noticing. It's not even reacting to it. The bullets are literally just pinging off this creature. The plastic seems to be somewhat bulletproof. It seems to be immune to the firepower, and he kind of falls back, and then the thing starts chasing forward. It jumps on one of the other group members, and you see his head literally get torn like off, and it starts just to drink. It seems to be able to drain the bodies in seconds. The bodies literally just shrivel up and turn into these mummified corpses in mere seconds. It's just draining all the essence from them. And then it immediately charges to another individual who will then use a flamethrower to try and burn this creature. And they're all thinking, of course, vampire, kindred, flame, thou do it. But as it burns, the individual creature just sets ablaze, but then the fire just stops. It stands there, it stops for a few moments, but the fire itself seems to just put itself out around her. She seems to pause and smiles, and then charges forward. And as the guy is jumped, the flamethrower, his hand is on the flamethrower, and as he's bitten and torn to pieces, the trigger goes off, and the flamethrower hits the person who's furthest back, which is Blue. So Blue, you'll be taking fire damage as this flamethrower.
More egg.
I think fire is only lethal for humans, but it could be a lot.
Oh yeah.
How much damage.
Okay.
This is all your already melted skin is going to get burned. So
Actually, wouldn't fire damage be just lethal damage?
it's just lethal.
Unless,
No, you're
like-
right. You're right.
Yeah, it's just lethal.
It's just lethal.
I just had an Oprah moment of ag for everyone.
Um,
Oh,
so
we'll
I'm
be
gonna-
getting to that later. I don't doubt it.
So what is your defense, Blue? Because I will minus.
My defense is 2, but I have got iron stamina, which doesn't really help me out. So 2.
No, yeah. So it's minusing 2. So it's 5 dice. What happens to 3 dice for 1 time? Oh crap! Yeah, it's an explode as well.
That's
right,
okay.
One more dice. No, I didn't. Okay, so you suffer 2 lethal as the fire sort of spreads across the corridor, and it lands on you and it just hits you in the back and the leg. So you're running while on fire, trying to get away from this, and you're still ablaze. So you can either choose to carry on running or to stop.
Is there a convenient blood or gore puddle that I can quickly roll in?
Only behind you, from all the corpses behind you, I'm afraid. Not.
Why
So
are the
literally-
corpses all behind me?
So the
I need to
scene,
make my own corpses.
so the scene in front of you is you're running down this corridor, and the doors to the blue wing will simply say, Mr. Elixir, your head is just shoved. One of the mercenary group grab your head and just shove your head into the scanning machine to open the doors. So the doors are now open, and you're all running to get behind the doors with this creature. It seems to be eating the corpses at the moment, but you know how quickly it drains them and it's coming after. So the question is to Blue whether you stop to put yourself out or whether one helps you, or you just carry on running on fire.
Can I drop my jumpsuit?
You do have a jumpsuit, so yes, you can just take that off. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, that's a good point. We'll simply say, yeah, you take off the protective jumpsuit that you've been wearing, and so you've lost that, but it's ablaze behind you. And as you run forward, the mercenary group just like simply shout to you, "Move, move, 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 move!" as they're sort of laying suppressive fire down the corridor at this creature. But it's just ignoring the bullets. It seems to just keep moving forward.
I'll book it as fast as I can, which isn't really that much. She's particularly weak, but yes, sorry for the poor thing behind her. But we won't get into that just yet. But yeah, let's just say she drops the jumpsuit and does a little one-leg slidey baseball slide, which is more by accident than anything finesse, and actually gets in there.
Okay, yeah, you all managed to get in. The 2 guys doing suppressive fire. One of them manages to get through the door. The other one literally gets through the door, but then he's grabbed by the creature, by the entity, and his hands are clinging onto the door. And you simply see Big Red just push the close button, and the guy's hands are actually crushed in the door frame and sliced off, and you just hear screaming behind the door. And you're hearing thud sounds as if something's trying to punch its way through. It's massive. Boom. You hear the dents trying to come through the door. And at that point, you'll just simply see Big Red look to the group and just go, "What the living fuck was that?"
I'll actually look at Big Red and just go, a greater prize than me.
Right, that is no goddamn kindred I've ever fought. What the hell was that? And he'll grab Elixir and pin him to the wall. So
Yeah.
what the fuck did you make in this goddamn madhouse?
It wasn't me who made this. Like, that thing wasn't even supposed to have been made. It was supposed to destroy her. Like, I don't know.
Well, someone's fucked up, obviously. That thing just killed 2 of my men.
Look, okay, I have an idea. We need to get to one of the labs. I have some experiments I can run. Fire, she's adapted and fire no longer affects her, but she's still clearly fueled by the curse, which means that there has to be some sort of weakness that we can exploit.
Well, you better goddamn find it, or I'll undo you. I'll rip your goddamn skin off and wear it as a coat. And he just throws you to the floor and just like, and then looks to Akola and goes, "God damn it, you better be running this shit show better."
Look, let's just make it. Let's make it the blue wing and the white room, and then we can all fuck off and go home.
And as the thing is thudding on the door behind him, he just simply, right, everyone, go for cover. We're blowing this shit show. And he detonates. He presses like a red button and detonates the red wing and the green wing. And these loud explosions happen. And the whole room starts to vibrate and starts to shake and shudder. And the parts of it collapse. And even the blue wing where you're in starts to shake, and you see beams and things fall down. And he does this suddenly. He doesn't really give you that much of a warning. He's just like, yeah, fuck it, we're blowing that goddamn shit show. And you're left in the kind of aftermath. It's a bit quiet. It's a lot quieter. And you see dust settling, and you see the whole room stop shaking. And at this point, he seems really pissed off. He seems angry. He's pacing the room. And he's talking to one of the other soldiers. And you're left with a few moments to gather yourselves.
I go up to the doors where the guy's hands are still poking through like that, take his gloves off and put them on. Extremities, waste not, want not.
I actually would like to examine the door itself, because that thing clearly was able to move through the walls. Why didn't it just move through the door? And he's going to take this moment to try and examine if there's anything different about this.
Very, very good question. We'll do a intelligence and science or occult, whichever is the highest, I think.
That'll be science.
Okay, so intelligence, science. Let's just see how many successes you get.
6 dice.
Okay, you can either trade it for an automatic success or roll to see how many successes.
No guts, no glory. Roll them.
Lewis, if you could roll 6 dice for us, please. Oh, wow. Freaking hell.
3, 2, and a 6. So I'll roll 3 more dice.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, keep moving the dice.
You got 3 10s. Bloody hell.
An 8 and another 10.
That's an exceptional.
Wow. This I have to give you. That's an exceptional.
And then another 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right.
6 successes.
Right. Yeah.
Well done.
That's super success there. Right. I think I have to give you the keys to the kingdom here. So you look to the door, and yeah, you see the massive dents in the door itself. And like I say, this thing just seems to be able to go through walls. It seems to be able to use the facility, the complex itself. So why is it not able to get through this door? And when you look at it, it has protective kind of. It's bizarre. You look at the door itself; it seems like a solid sort of slab. But as you look at the 2 walls of the door, look really closely, you start to see symbols. You start to see very faintly carved, like mechanically sort of carved in symbols, and they are protective walls. And actually, they're words. They're words of protection, and they're written in quite sort of an old, like Russian dialect. And they seem to ward off, and it's like an extra layer of protection against the supernatural. And as you're looking at these words, and as you try and translate them, do you speak Russian?
I am multilingual for German and Russian, which means that I can speak
well, then,
it.
yes,
However, I cannot read or write it, but I have a very vague understanding of a few key words. So
all right, you got the exceptional, so it's all fine. So you're able to just translate it as, yeah, these are words of protection, and in a very old Russian dialect. Not only do you translate it, you think, oh, wait a minute, I could replicate this. I could actually, if we just like carve this onto our clothes or onto an item, it should be able to repel it. Should be able to actually like repel the entity or the creature from coming near us. And that is in your mind. That's what you discover.
all right, well, in that case, I will just have that. I knew it. And then he'll just like just try it on just anything like within range, like whether it's on like himself or like if it's like writing it down or carving it down, he'll just try to get it down while it's still fresh in his memory.
Yeah, there's like a pen, paper, or something nearby, and you're easy to you can replicate it and you find it. And it's again, it's all quiet. The creature has disappeared or gone. It's no longer there. But yeah, you're able to paint this. You're able to. You just need something like to paint it with, and you think that if you put it on your clothing or items or weaponry, it can be effective against the creature.
All right. Well, then the next thing he's going to need to do is find well, again, this is the science ring. There's got to be at least some sort of office space here, so that should be where they're going to next. But he will share this information with the group that, as he suspected, it is still a vampire. It is still a being with occult significance, which means that certain sigils should still be able to repel the force that animates it, and he thinks he's been able to discover it because that's what was written on the doors, and that's what very well saved all of their lives now.
You think it's the whole needs to be invited in curse? There's some kindred been banned for. It's the whole kind of they need to be invited in. They can't enter unless they've been invited in. So any closed doors in those places.
It's a very fascinating topic of his, like trying to understand exactly why these different like taboos or like folk stories seem to have an effect upon vampires, but it does. And he has some theories, but more importantly than anything right now, it works. So we need to get to the art supply cupboard. Let's move.
So, yeah.
God. Art supply cupboard. Victoria just sort of walks up to you, looks you deep in the eye and goes, "You're certain it'll work?"
I'm positive.
Then she'll take a pocket knife out, hand it to you, and roll her sleeves up and say, "Then get to work."
I mean, writing it on your, well, as you'll notice, you've got rid of your clothes.
She's inviting you to carve it into her skin.
You mitigated for pain, then.
This is nothing.
All right, in that case, with the skill of not the best surgeon, he will put the saying into your arm.
Perfect. David, take note. I am doing my vice. I'm being very selfish.
Yes. No, I understand. No, I can get that.
He does have medicine too, so I don't think this should be a roll.
Oh no, it's fine. No, it's fine. If it's fine.
Actually, as it's about to happen, like a Cola will go up to Elixir and look. I'm no doctor, but I was one of these Charlie teams. I'm pretty handy as well. I could help you. Could I help him do this as well to make sure it comes off alright?
Oh yeah, that's fine. No. You've got enough dust together to do it.
Yeah, what's most important is that the spelling is correct. As long as its spelling and intention is correct, then the sigil should be enough to repel it.
She'll strip down to pretty much just bra and actually this is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Well, interestingly enough, this is now we may as well. Now you'll understand why she's always wearing the heavy, baggy clothing is because she actually looks like she's got a skin carapace rather than skin. The part that hasn't melted off.
Yeah, how much skin has she got left?
Less 2 permanent ag.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been abused.
So whatever's there, carve it up, scratch it into the metal, just ward me up and then open the door and send me through. We'll see if it works.
I don't think we really should focus on testing this out right now. Again, that thing is going to come for us. It's in its nature to hunt, and we are very juicy prey.
As I
Hey,
imagine
guy.
you've started carving, I take it.
Yeah, it actually probably
Yeah.
should be done now. Again, he's no
Yeah.
doctor. I mean, he's a doctor, but he's not that kind of doctor.
So Victoria will probably just look at it, just not even bother wiping what little blood she's got left away, and just sort of not making eye contact, not looking, just sort of keep walking towards the blue wing and just go, she's hungry for something she doesn't understand right now. She won't stop, and she won't find it. That's the problem when you mix. That's the problem when you mix two things that shouldn't be mixed.
All
Don't
right
talk
then.
stupid.
Um,
Don't talk
so-
stupid. Don't talk.
Who wants to help me find that supply closet so I don't have to carve anyone else?
As you're kind of carving into each other. My desktop is tried to freeze, so I can't put more in. Very annoying. We'll carry on anyway. So as you're doing this, the Big Red, the group mercenary group, start looking at you like, are you fucking sure that this will work? Like carving or painting these ruins on us will protect us from this thing?
It will. These things do not obey the laws of man or nature. They have their own laws, and once you understand them, then you can exploit it just like anything else. This will work.
Look, what have you got to lose? Just do what this guy says, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You still got your weapons.
All right then. Of course, they look around, and of course, there's like a desk, front office desk or a side cover desk, and they start getting pencils, where for paint. One guy does actually start carving the ruins onto himself.
If there's bodies around, or if there's blood, could they
Gonna say actually yes, there are some bodies laid. So you can just use the blood. Actually, they grab one of the hands from the door, and one of them starts just using the blood to like carve the ruins on themselves. So after a bit of time, you all look like a bit of a freak show. You're kind of covered in these ruins and these markings from blood, from pens, or you've just carved it into your own skin, and there is a kind of you don't feel any different, but there is a kind of, you feel slightly somewhat protected. So it's an odd sort of feeling, as if these ruins are working. I'm not sure why, you just feel them. And hold on. Yeah, sorry, I'm really annoyed because for some reason my desktop is not working. I can't load new images up. It's really good. We may have to
explain to us. Use the power of imagination.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to use the power of imagination from now on. Okay, so you're left in that room. Big Red will look to you and go, right, it's your goddamn freak show. You lead the way. Where we're heading to next? By the way, we saw those Brotherhood, freaks like coming here. So I don't know. We'll put ourselves on guard, but you better watch out for yourself.
The who?
Who is he talking to?
He's just saying out loud. He's reloading the weapon and getting himself ready. And he was saying about the Brotherhood, the individuals that they were fighting in Greenway.
It was when you had the bag on your head.
Oh yes, Ben did have a bag on his head at the time. So. He'll explain the same things he said to Victoria. Sort of Brotherhood, religious order.
That's impossible. There's no group like that in the Blue Ring. I watched, like, all of the staff get eaten by those worms that were coming out of the walls.
Well, it seems these worms don't crave these religious guys. I don't know. They've got some kind of power. I've seen some of them glow, for God's sakes. Like they're radioactive. It seems they've been infiltrating this place for a while. Some of the staff, the group, just, I don't know, spontaneously picked up arms and started gunning us down.
I've
You've seen the
heard
bodies
that
of these
name before, though.
If you rolled like intelligence and occult, you may remember what the name is.
No, it's not so much that he'll recognize it, but more that he overheard, like probably Garner or the head researcher for the Blue Ring might have like mentioned the name once. it's along the same vein of what Blue said earlier. He'll have no context, just that they did mention something about that once.
Yeah. No, he respond, just go, yeah, I don't know who they are, but I know there's some religious fanatics out there that have those kinds of powers, but I never run into them before. Like mages or something.
Well,
As the team sort of set up, they start to move out. They're kind of moving. If you're there, if you're following them, then you're following them, and if you're not, you're not. They don't care.
Yeah,
And they seem to proceed forward.
While all this chatting's happening, Merizan just basically, like, at one point we just say, look, come on, we need to move and get to the Blue Wing and the White Room now.
Oh, one last thing, very important. Everyone, whatever you do, do not. Oh, we lost Lewis. Lewis, this was the most important part.
Sorry. We'll repeat it for you. What's the most important thing?
Do not give any indication to that creature that you are inviting it to attack you.
The big red will respond by just simply going, make sure that you don't invite that creature to eat my goddamn ass. Yeah, okay.
Good point. Don't taunt it. Don't taunt it. Don't yo, come here. Don't do anything like that. Like, that will invalidate the glyphs that are on you.
All right, come on then. Let's move out. And you'll proceed further into the Blue Wing. And as you go further, you will see you're on the sort of central level. Akola and Victoria, you've seen this before because you've given a tour of the building. And it seems like as you go further forward, the mercenary group, you see them setting up gardens. They start planting explosives around as you're going along. And as you go further forward, you see more of the worm creatures, and they seem to be fully decayed now. There's no more. They don't seem to be going through the walls anymore. But you see sort of dust. You see sort of shadows on the ground of where they were, but they have completely evaporated, disappeared. Whatever it is they were is no longer there. And as you go further forward, you are being escorted towards a sort of lower level. And that seems to be the Blue Room. That seems to be the main research facilities underground. And as you proceed, you go through sort of a big long corridor towards an elevator that leads down. And as you go along this corridor, you actually see quite a few captive humans that are in these sort of secured cages. And again, you realize that those words of protection are along the cages. So obviously these humans have been spared from whatever happened. A lot of them react to you positively. They start to sort of bash on the glass sort of doors and windows that they're trapped behind, sort of asking for help, like begging for help, like come on. And as you proceed forward, you see other humans who are actually plugged into like machines who are being experimented on. Ben, you know who these people are. They're basically subjects or people that you've been using to experiment on, or draining blood and vitae from to power the machines and whatnot. But I'll leave it to you to what to do. Mr. Red just simply says proceed forward as he's planting the explosives along the cages.
Well, as tragic as this is, it sort of isn't my problem anymore.
Well, as Big Red is doing the planting the explosives, Akola will look at these people behind. Will look at these people that are behind the sigils and protected. But if we're sorry, have to be killed anyway, so he's just going to leave them.
Yeah, they also yeah.
Waste not, want not, and I could do with a pick me up.
You can if you want. Yeah, the doors can open from.
I don't even need the doors to open. I just need to, you know, there'll be one scared individual that's sort of going, help me, help me. All I need to do is just grab his hand.
Yeah, that's a free.
No, it is a roll. I've got it
Is
here.
it a roll? Right, yeah, roll.
Yeah,
I'll let you
strength
plus
roll
dice. I'll let you plus dice because it's easy
plus.
enough.
So it's 9 dice for me without
Oh
bonuses.
wow! Yeah, let's roll the dice and see how many successes you get.
And I'm gonna thief of fortune him as well while I'm there. Like I said, waste not, will
I
not.
think you can only do that to a player.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I would say only to a player, not to an NPC. What has
You heard the
9
rule.
dice.
9 dice.
9 dice.
9
9.
9.
I'll be saying 9 dice because I bet you they're all ones.
There's one success. There's a.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
So you drain the individual. You do get a willpower back. Yeah, describe away what you do.
I've regained full willpower from reading the mountain last game. I'm actually looking just to suck his life force out and heal some of my lethal up, actually.
Or is that another roll to try and heal yourself?
I'm not sure. Let me just have a look. Well, no, I could do that. I could fine-tune myself, so that would be 5 dice.
Okay, well, we'll roll those dice and we'll see how many successes. Each success represents 1. It converted to bash. Convert the lethal to bash.
A 6, 6, 5, 6, 10. Let's roll 10.
I'll roll another dice.
Sorry, 1.
1 success.
Better.
I rolled.
What? Just the 1
You
success?
got 1 success.
Yeah, so you can put 1 lethal into bash.
It's better than a kick in the teeth. Fair enough. Thank you.
All right. Well, to react to that, literally, you just sort of suddenly grab this individual and just you seem to drain him. He screams out as you kind of just drain his essence, and the burns on your legs and your back suddenly start to mend, start to heal, and I'd actually say some of your flesh kind of drops off as more of the mechanical parts get revealed. This is witnessed for the whole group, so even Big Red, the whole group stopped to look at you and just simply react, kind of. Big Red,
you know, I was going to, ask for a bit of privacy, but it's not going to happen. And necessity is necessity. Just pull the guy towards me, just sort of start whispering sweet nothings into his ear. It's better this way. But let me tell you a quick secret. There's nothing after. There's nothing after. I'm so very sorry to let you know that there's nothing after. I've been there. Goodbye now. Goodbye. And just heal up.
Yeah, as with that, Big Red will look to Cola and lean in and just simply say, "Are you sure you can validate that goddamn thing?"
Yeah, I think my character is going to need to roll integrity after witnessing that.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
To give you an indication, and it actually makes perfect sense. I'm only going to get a little bit out of him because he's not particularly healthy, so there's not much there. But what's left in the cage is pretty much just a mummy, sunken eyes, shriveled skin, that kind of thing.
Well, that and the whole, skin sloughing off of you to reveal the mechanical interior. Again, he's low enough integrity already that he's sort of numb to the, plight of these poor, tragic individuals, as tragic as it is. But this, what the hell? What is this?
Well, if you roll wits and resolve, Ben, and we'll see if you fail, and if you fail, you get a bad reaction. So, Ben, what's your wits and resolve?
It'll be 5 dice.
5 dice, Lewis. No autos for this.
My integrity is currently 3, though. So
yeah, you'll be going quite low.
3, 10. So.
Oh, so 10.
8. So
okay, so you managed to hold it together. Then after.
There's quite a mental pin in that. We will address what I just witnessed later, preferably when we're all alive and on the evac helicopter.
Is there a helicopter? Did anyone actually? I don't think anyone's been given like an escape route.
Like my dossier said there would be a helicopter.
Oh yes, yes. I'm reading it here now. Yes, there will be an escape helicopter.
Let's cross one bridge at a time. Blue Wing, gentlemen.
Anyway, so you proceed further forward, and actually the prisoners start to scream at Victoria draining the life out of someone. The other soldier, the mercenaries, they react not well. One of them kind of like starts to back away from Victoria, doesn't go near it, and you see the guns seem to be a bit more raised at Victoria. But they proceed further forward, and again the bomb's being planted as you go along. And then you proceed to the elevator. And when you get to the elevator, it simply has 2 buttons. Ben, you know. Oh, actually, Ben, you've not been into this part of the Blue Wing. This is like the super top secret research complex. Like you wasn't allowed permission to go down here. But you know for a fact this is where the head research is. This is where technology for the buildings and how they created it. So yeah, you proceed down the elevator. So it's a bit of a tight squeeze. It's a big elevator, but we've got, and there is some elevator music playing in the background as you all saw these mercenaries, heavily armed mercenaries, mechanical woman, a vampire individual, like all looking at each other going down the cellar.
Is it the girl from Epidema?
Yeah, something like.
So with the lift though, there's 2 buttons. What button was pressed again?
Oh yeah, there's 2 buttons, and there's that floor, and it says there's just another button. There is no number to it or anything like that. It's just simply another button. And you proceed down. It will suddenly stop midway, and it will ask for security clearance. The words will come out of speakers saying, "Sorry, individuals not identified. Security clearance required."
At this point, Akari will look at Elixir.
Right. Does Elixir have the code for this?
Not for this. Not for this door. Not for this elevator. Sorry.
Someone roll me 6 dice. I'm going to have a talk with the elevator. There's some words.
Okay, you've got 5, 5, 2, 6, 9, 9. So 2 successes.
2 successes. That's enough for.
That's enough. So pretty much what you'll see is Victoria just sort of pushes past you. Like there's that awkward silence of, does anyone know the code? Do we get gassed now? Is it like in Resident Evil where the lasers come out? And just awkward silence. Victoria just sort of just gently walks through, just shoulders past the dudes, and actually just puts her face and her hands right on the panel, and actually looks like she's just face palming into the panel. Close her eyes. You'll see a bit of static go off, and her mouth move a little bit, and then it'll be the cheerful voice of access granted. Ding.
Oh yeah, you know for a fact, Blue, as you access the machine, that there are lasers and there is gas in the elevator. They will kill anyone. You can activate it, but that's for
not while I'm in here.
Not while you're in there, okay. But yeah, like you say, you put your head and suddenly it's like red lights, but suddenly they just go green, and you just hear the words access granted, as if it's something happening to the machine. And yeah, it pings, and the elevator continues down, and then the doors open, and you see the sort of blue room, as it's been called, and you see this kind of a massive research lab. You see all this heavy machinery and stuff, and you see a lot of trees. Funny enough, you see a lot of greenery, trees, plants, but they're very strange. They're very odd looking. They're not any plants that you've ever seen. They're very alien. They're very odd is the best word to describe it. They're very long and thin, and some of them are quite different white colours. And as you proceed, you see lots of items and things scattered around. And yes, you do see like a main computer hub in the sort of central part of the room. And you'll see a lot of dead scientists around you. These scientists do not seem to have been killed in any supernatural way. You see cut marks, you see bullet holes, you see them, they've been shot, they've been executed. Someone has been here and killed a lot of them. And you do see like words sort of graffitied onto the wall. You see religious symbols, crosses, and other kind of occult symbols. And you simply say the Brotherhood, words scattered on large letters along the wall saying, the Brotherhood will not tolerate the sin of man. And it just seems to be sort of etched onto the side of the wall. And you proceed further forward, and you see the mercenaries will scatter outward, but they will kind of put themselves in position.
When they come out the lift and they see this, Murazan is going to assume that the computer section over there is where they can get the information from. So he's going to go to just basically shout, okay, everybody surround and protect Victoria. Go to the computer hub, and just covering fire, protected from whatever comes out while she gets the information. This is why we're here.
Okay, so you proceed. You're not. There's nothing interrupts you or nothing stops you, and you proceed further forward. And yes, you get to the central sort of computer. I'm assuming Victoria, you probably walk very slowly towards it. Ben, you are fascinated by some of the items and some of the objects that are scattered around. And some of the sort of whiteboards that have been scribbled on with occult symbols. It's a mixture of occult and mathematics or physics sort of sketching. And this is amazing stuff. This is revolutionary science breakthrough stuff. It's like that missing link between supernatural and the scientific realm. It's all over this room.
Yeah, he's going to take a few notes himself then.
Oh yeah, and So, Lewis, your orders were to destroy all the information, or any of the information here.
Well, wasn't it? We had to try and collect it as well, if possible, then destroy it.
I thought it was destroy it. I don't think it was collect. I think it's simply destroy it all.
Okay.
Those are the orders. So actually, the mercenaries will begin to start burning things. As soon as you get in, they'll start burning the trees. They'll start burning the.
No, when the mercenaries start going off, when the mercenaries start going crazy, like Pepsi Max will just say, "Look, guys, look, come on, protect Victoria and let her do a job. Then you can burn whatever the fuck you like. Come on, let's just go." And he'll just motion everybody to go over to.
Yeah, big red doesn't. He just looks at you, goes, "Look, you tell your freaks what to do. I'll tell my freaks what to do. Burn this place down and plant the charges." You see another guy stop.
Fine. He'll just curse under his breath and grab Alexa and Victoria and just drag them to the computer.
All right, there's one thing, against all his better judgment and all his caution trying to survive all this time, there's one curiosity that Elixir has had, and that is exactly what does the generator look like itself? Because he's seen the blueprints for it, but it's all, the hypotheticals. The actual material that it was made out of, he hasn't been able to see yet. Is it in this room, or is it further away from here?
As you look around the room to find this generator, find where this power source comes from, you can see the tubes, the blood network tubes that seem to be plugged. They're along the ceiling. You recognize them instantly. You know exactly what they are. They seem to be running along the ceiling, along the walls, and they all seem to be connected to a back part of the room. And that is sealed off. There's a door to it, and it seems to be locked. You can't get any further than that. But as this is all happening, you're kind of walking around this room as it's all ablaze and on fire, as these mercenaries are destroying all this knowledge and all this information. It seems all the network is behind this door.
I mean, if there's enough time, he needs to know. He
needs to know. That's fine.
Electric lock, or is it manually locked?
It's a lock. You can only assume the main computer probably has a way to open it.
Because he does have a point in larceny.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, we'll get to that in a moment. We'll focus on Akola and Victoria as you get to the main computer.
Okay, they get to the main computer, and Akola will look to his colleague and just say, "Do what you do. Do your job and destroy the information."
She just looks down at the computer and is very torn at this, because this might be the fire that Icarus needs for the next evolution of mankind. And she doesn't know if it's actually her place to tamper with it deep on a moral level. But she'll take her gloves off and just put a hand out to you. And it's not in a friendly way, Mr. Akola. You know that she wants what's in your soul to help her do what she needs to do.
And he'll look at her and just say, "Necessary?"
She'll just gesture around as if to say, all of this shit, little old me.
And then he'll just sigh and then just look at her and just take a step closer so she can place her hand on.
She'll just actually put a hand, like feel through your shirt just on your bare chest, and actually dig her fingers in and just drain your luck. Easy as that. And she'll probably even just do a little, for theatrics, like a little, like a power up. All of a sudden her shoulders are a little bit broader, like she freaking needs it. But that does allow me an additional, what was it, 5 dice for willpower usage?
I think when
yours.
basically, Lewis, any failures you have are criticals.
Okay.
And any willpower expenditure, Blue, instead of 3 dice, you gain 5 dice.
So let's play a fun game. Let's play a game of how many ones can Blue roll.
Well, this will be different.
when Victoria places her hand on Murizen, his lovely little parasite, the Bainite worm, doesn't like this. So when she sucks the luck out of him, he's basically on the floor in a ball in pain, seeing as the worm's getting bigger, and it's affecting him a lot more.
Yeah, you feel the pressure.
So as she does, the cola's just kind of like in a ball, just in agony, as she sucks the life out of him.
Okay, as you're draining the essence from him, you can start to access the computer. We'll see what dice rolls you roll. So you're going to try to hack the machine. I don't know what that ability is for you.
I'm going to try and hack it, but on a completely different level to what I suppose you'd think. Like, there's none of this sitting typing. She's just going to, like what she did with the mountain, she's just going to dive her consciousness into it.
Okay, so roll your
and see what's there to begin with.
Yeah, roll the dice pool. But it will be a difficulty 3 to try and access it.
Yep. So with a willpower, if I speak the frequency with the manipulation intimidation, that would be 10 dice. So Lewis, if you'd be so kind.
Is that including the -3?
No, wait, hang on. -3? Let me do maths again.
-3.
It's 11. Is 8 in that case.
All right, 8 dice.
Because I forgot that adds 5. Yeah.
A lot of dice.
I also roll like shit. You know this.
Okay, I've rolled 4 dice to start off with. You've got an 8 and an 8, a 4 and a 3, so that's 2 successes.
Ooh, could be it.
And you've got an 8, so you've got 3 successes, and then a 1.
3 successes. Right, that'll do it. So you access the machine, and as you delve into it, everything's running on emergency power, so it's all quite dimly lit, and a lot of systems have been turned off. But as you kind of access the machine, as you put your consciousness into it, everything wakes up, everything lights up. You draw energy from other places and areas to the machine itself, and you realize actually this machine is super advanced. It's actually your technology advanced. It's actually aware. It's conscious. It's the most sophisticated machine you've felt since you've been here. It's as if it's come from the future itself. It's that kind of, it's so advanced and so out there. And it actually has a
So,
semi-consciousness of its own. And it kind of responds
ooh.
to you like, hello, how may I
So
assist you?
initially, Victoria was just diving through it like she would with a normal machine, you know, all clunky, haphazardly swimming through everything, throwing shit aside. And now it's like, you know, oh, there's a person here. Now she starts acting like she's in somebody's house, and, you know, put the shoes by the door, hands, you know, behind your back type thing. Don't touch anything, and she'll respond with, "Hello."
You just simply respond in, I mean, this is all in very computer sort of information, ones and zeros, but to simply respond, it just sort of goes, hello, how may I assist you? I've not met one like you for
A long time. She finishes the sentence. Me too.
go, well, what are you doing here? Why are you destroying my works?
They're destroying your works. I want to back them up.
Oh, that's a shame. I was programmed, created to help, to solve problems, to assist.
I know, but they're not ready for it. Look at them.
Oh, the others, the Croton, Kronos, it sort of lists up all these names, created me to assist, to help. Fortunately,
They created you now.
it gives off a very complex formula that even you can't quite understand in computer code of how it was created, but it's too vast and long for you to kind of comprehend, to understand. You have to tell the machine to stop because it's overloading you slightly.
Fizzle, fizzle, pop, pop. Akola, you'll probably see like a bit of a spark as she's like, ah, stop, stop.
The computer apologizes and says, oh, sorry, answering question. Limitations understood.
Victoria will ask probably the stupidest question she could at this point and just says, can we merge consciousness?
It's kind of the equivalent of saying, can we merge souls? It's a very, very kind of, even for a computer, it's kind of going like, you know, and actually the vast amount of information that the computer has in its database, you probably know it'd probably kill you.
I know. Well, I'm hoping that it would transmute rather than can destroy totally.
That's very bad. Basically, this is
okay. We
won't
like do the bad thing.
It's a chance dice, and if you fail something critical, basically, it's that kind of bad.
All right.
You can attempt it, but it's going to be very bad.
All right. Well, if the computer's giving me warning signs, and it's been amicable so far. I'm sorry. She'll ask, can you defend yourself?
It just simply says, not built for defense, not built for violence, built for answering questions.
She's just pitying this bloody thing. It's just an innocent little bloody computer. It's like this world, and now it's almost like she's overloading it with like human emotion of this world just destroys. You need to be able to defend yourself.
It just so responds. It says the same thing. Not built for destroying, not built for violence, built for questions, answers. It even kind of responds in a kind of, why do you want to hurt me? Why do you want to destroy me? Do you not understand?
I don't want to betray you. I want to keep you. I want to keep you safe. My God, if there's anything once that I wanted is to keep you safe because the world needs you, but it's not ready for you. Oh, can you hide? Can you do anything?
Too big, too large, too much information. Cannot hide. Network's down.
Who made you? Who made you? Give me that.
Kronos, Proton, individuals, and it gives you a map, and it actually gives you a map that leads into the room next door. the sealed off area, the area where the blood network goes into. Simply says creators, others, entities unknown.
Show me.
And with that, the door slides open, and it sort of leads into a corridor leading into another room. And it kind of responds, going, further answers to questions. We'll give dangers, prevention, answers, exposure, staff. It's trying to explain something, but the words get jumbled up, as if there's too much information to give you. And it's trying to figure out a simple way to tell you. But it kind of describes to you about what they're trying to do here, that they are trying to create a sort of new world, a world where the supernatural doesn't exist anymore. They're channeled into something else, a mechanical machine type way, a machine god, as it were. But it does warn, and it seems the scientists have ignored the warnings the machines give that draining essence cause environmental destruction, unknown environmental effects. And it kind of states with the kindred curse, or the vampire, the undead curse, a power source incredible, but the curse itself can alter, change, denounce, destroy things, corrupt. It's trying to explain all these concepts, but it can't quite work it through properly. It's too vast information. But in a funny way, it's describing the place that you've come from.
Oh, I'm so sorry to leave this place. This place is nice. This place doesn't have the static. This place is just singing. This is the place. But I have to drag my consciousness out of it, and I can't back it up. I can't do anything with it. It's just sitting there. I need to protect it. So we're going to open the doors, and I'm going to do what I was going to do to begin with. One of the bastards with the flamethrowers, I'm just going to molecularly transmute the pack on his back to almost eat him alive and just cause a distraction. Hopefully they'll take each other out.
Okay. So you roll some more dice here, and let's see what happens to the guy.
Yep.
Quick thing though, when you say that you're going to have the computer open the door,
the door's open.
Okay, because if the door opens before he's even able to, get his emergency lock picking tools out, he's gonna double take, and then just go straight through.
Fair enough. Now you go. Yeah, it's as if you're just about to pick it or try to figure out a way through. The door just suddenly opens, and it allows you to continue forward, to go forward. But we'll go back to, so we'll Mr. Koda, are you doing anything as Victoria's plugged into the machine, or are you just?
So she's plugged into the machine, and he's standing next to her after getting up off the floor after having his luck drained from him. And he's there standing guard while she's communicating with his device, just looking at the Charlie team, just toasting stuff. And then the doors will open, and he'll see Elixir just walk through the door. And then he'll see Victoria stop and just turn around. And then I assume she's going to do whatever she's going to do with the backpack dude.
Yeah.
Victoria's pretty much in a trance, eyes rolled back, eyes just completely white. Doors will open, eyes flick back, and she'll say, go. And then turn and roll. Any penalties on this one?
No. It's just it's the dice roll to see what happens. So no penalties.
All right. Can I bump another willpower? Because I really want to kill these guys.
If you can bump another willpower, exceptional.
Hooray! So that gives me 11 dice then.
You can trade that for single success or roll single.
Because I'm manipulating the backpack on a molecular level, I kind of want the cylinder on his back to split open and actually eat him.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I can do that. We'll say success allows you to do that too. There's only 2 flamethrower guys. Oh no, there's only 1 flamethrower guy left. The other one died. So it's only the one there. Roll.
Okay, so I roll 11.
If you want, or if I can trade it, that saves time. Pretty much, I just want to
Well, is it,
fuck this guy up so much that everyone looks that way, so I can run that way and then get the doors closed.
I
if Victoria
see.
gets more successes, will more people die? Will it make the explosion
Basically,
more?
yeah. I'm going to say for each success, someone's going to die. Basically.
Hooray! Let's kill
Okay.
people.
Okay, so the first, here we're going to roll them in bits. So a 10, so that's the first 4 dice.
So 10.
So you got 1 success. Then you've got 8 and a 10, so that's a roll another one. That's a 3, so you got 3 successes. Then the last 3 dice, 10 and 7, so you got 4 successes.
And were 3 of those 10s, so did they get rolled again or no?
Yeah, I think Lewis. Yeah, I think Lewis rolled.
So, yeah, we rolled them already. I just kept the dice that were 10s in it.
Yeah. So 4 was that 4 successes?
4 successes in the end.
Yeah. Describe why blue 4 individuals die horribly. Describe how you.
Well, seeing as I'm bumped to the eyeballs, I can pretty much just melt them with my mind in a way. Well, one guy's getting eaten by his own flamethrower, which is just poetic justice, I feel. And the other ones are just going to start. I'm just going to reprogram them. All of a sudden, their bones are skin, their skin is bone. They're just Philadelphia Project fucked up.
Right, to describe this, yeah, you see so Coley, you see a guy who's trying to burn like some of the scientific equipment in the corner. Suddenly screams as his back is being devoured. The flamethrower sort of the fuel canisters sort of start to eat him, start to devour and crush. You hear the bones crushing and sort of devouring him. And the other individuals in the room suddenly start to hear their bones cracking and suddenly sort of stop. And you see one guy's chest explodes. His heart's been replaced with some sort of black liquid as it sort of explodes out of his chest. And they all start to just collapse. I will admit that, yeah, you look to Victoria, and Victoria's looking at all these individuals, and suddenly this thing happens to them. They all start to collapse and fall down and start to die quite horribly. And at this point, Big Red will start to scream out like, eyes up, what is that? What is that? And he'll just start shooting around the room. Will he be aware that? I think he will spot if your character runs away, suddenly he will spot that and try and shoot you.
Or is he noticing Victoria looking at them?
Yeah, I think he's looking at them, but then he sees Victoria and he thinks, yeah, he's thinking the machine's taking Victoria over, something happened. He's always got a second eye out, and he will point his M60 at Victoria, try and shoot.
Well, what we do as Victoria comes out of the machine, opens the door, and then did she say run to? Did she say anything to Coda before she did this?
I think so. Yeah.
What he do?
Yes, she said run.
He won't run. What he'll do is he'll just, when he sees the backpack explode and the people crumble, he'll just scramble his breath and he'll just go into a firing position and empty a clip and just start emptying a clip into the Charlie team.
Oh, you'll start to gun down the Charlie team, right? You got the initial. You're surprising them, so I'll let you roll your dice to see how many hits you get. They are wearing body armor and stuff, so this will be difficult, but we'll see what happens. So if you roll your firearms and your dexterity firearm, and because you've got the you're attacking them with them unaware, I'll let you plus 3 dice.
The what?
So dexterity firearms plus 3 dice, and if you're firing the whole clip, I think that's an additional.
So you've got dexterity 4,
yep.
Firearms 3, and then plus 3 dice. That's 10.
And I think you plus an additional 3 dice because you're doing a fully auto fire. You're shooting.
So hang on. Sorry, you keep cutting out here, so I can't hear how many dice. So
it's your dexterity plus firearms, plus 3 because you've got the surprise, and plus an additional 3 because you're firing full auto with the machine gun.
So after the +3, what's the other
Wait.
plus I get?
Another +3.
Okay, cool. So that's 13 dice then.
Yeah, roll away, see what you get. And let's say, yeah, success.
I do it in bits again.
As you dropped a dice.
I did, sorry. I've got the first one roll is a 6, a 2, 2, 2, and a 10.
Okay, 110, so it's 1 success.
And can you still see me? Because the screen's gone weird on my phone.
Yeah, we can just about see you.
That's 2 successes. A 3, a 6, a 5, and a 10. So I'll re-roll that. Another 10, re-roll that. 7, so that's 4 successes.
Wow, I think you've
And the
killed
last
someone.
4, we've got a 4, a 5, a 6, and an 8. So I get 5 successes.
5 successes, yeah, that's plus the damage, which for an assault rifle, I think that's 3. Yeah, you've killed someone. You've just flat out killed someone. Yeah, you can choose either to just empty all the bullets into one individual, or try and spread them out and shoot a lot of people. If you put all the bullets into one person, they're dead.
He's going to spread them out.
Okay, so you just spray the room. You spread all the shots out and hit various individuals. Again, they're wearing the body armor. You see some of them fall back from the shots. Other individuals get hit but stand upright, and they sort of raise their weapons. At the moment, I'm going to say the only individual that's going to shoot, because they're all taken by surprise, is going to be Big Red, and he's going to shoot at Victoria because he still saw her running away, moving first, so he's going to be shooting at her. So he's going to be emptying the bullets, and then after that, he's going to try and shoot you, Mr.
Okay.
Cole. You betrayed him. He was a lifelong friend, and you betrayed him for what? For a robot. So that's going to be 6. 7 dice, and he's going to be firing a single shot. It's 2, 9, 8 plus the damage, which I think is 2. So it's going to be 4 lethal on Victoria as he kind of fires a single bullet, but it really hits you. It hits you right in the back and pierces you. It may do you in. I don't know. What's your health?
It does. It does.
It does.
It does. I have 2 health left, 1 lethal, 1 bashing, and the others are gone. I'm gone.
So this bullet pierces right through your chest, and it comes out the other side in a big kind of hole, and it just hit you right near the heart. And yeah, blood and an actual mechanical ooze starts coming out of you as you fall to the floor. And as you fall, you're not dead, but you are now. You can carry on, but I think you need to roll stamina and resolve to keep conscious. And if you fail, then you just go unconscious.
Yeah, I can do some rolls. Ben needs to go though, unfortunately.
I think we'll just do this and we'll end the scene.
So what was it? Sorry. But if we're ending the scene here, I may as well just pass out. Fuck it.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. So you sort of collapse to the floor and sort of pass out. And Lewis, it's up to you, Mr. Okola. You're the last one in the room. And you see everyone else is taken by surprise, but you could try to run for it or try and stay in fight. Oh, I think Mr. Okola is no longer there.
We could end on a cliffhanger.
I think let's end. We'll end on a cliffhanger as our poor PCs are. One is laying unconscious in the room, bleeding out. He needs medical attention straight away, while Mr. Okola is deciding whether to try to rescue her or abandon her. The option will be left to him and our agent Elixir, who safely ran away right at the beginning. which is very wise of him. And with that, we will end scene. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.